Welcome back to the Hot Healed Girl podcast. I know I got excited and then I saw your mouth open, then you saw my mouth open. So it was just like, who's going to jump first? And neither of us. I'm Courtney Otten. I'm your host
Emily
today.
Bruckner.
No, JK. M's here. Don't worry.
Totally down to let Courtney host today. It's the end of the day.
I know.
It's the end
Which
of the
we
week.
don't do.
I know.
You can always tell the difference on the videos, right? Because otherwise, like this is a ring light. There is a difference because it makes you glowy, and then the natural light, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You never really know.
Yeah, I have my ring light on today too because it's gloomy and cloudy and rainy.
My ring light's actually breaking, so I need a new one soon. Again, it's probably like 3 years old anyways, and I got like the cheapest one on Amazon. So maybe we'll get a slightly better one this time and make the government pay for it as a write-off.
There you go.
100% a write-off.
I got 2 for Christmas last year, so I'm set. I have like the big one that's on the stand.
I was going to ask, do you have
and
the
then
huge
I have
one?
the little one that just set like what I have behind my computer right now.
Yeah, so mine's on a stand, but it sits behind my like desk. But yeah, it's
I mean, they both have stands, but like my tall one, like I can stand it in front of me and just stand in front of it, and it's like the same height as me. But
yeah, this one's like only up to like my shoulder, so it's a pain when I stand up. So I'm gonna get like a good one the next one. Again, it's gonna be one of the huge influencer ones. Like this one's a normal size. It's probably the size of like no bigger than a sheet of paper, but like we're gonna get a big one. We're gonna go all out.
Might as well. The government's gonna pay for it.
You got to write these things off, and to be honest, that is 100% part of my business. Sorry, people, you don't need to know this, but that's what happens when you run your own business. You can write things off. For me, ring lights, because yeah, I use them now that it's dark out during client calls.
Yep. So tell us what we're talking about today.
We're gonna talk about friendships because this may or may not hit with the hot heel girl vibe, but I feel like it all does, because I'm gonna speak for us both because we chatted about this a little. We're in a season of life where like friendships are evolving and changing, and some you're like losing, and it's a weird time. So like for context, we're 27, you're gonna be 28 in like 2 weeks. So we're like in our late 20s. And for me, I have grown out of a lot of people that I was friends with in my early 20s. I don't drink anymore. I have not had a sip of alcohol in years. And that was how most of my friends would hang out. So like we slowly just started distancing ourselves because we really didn't have anything in common anymore. But not just that, right? Like not everyone's as extreme as me. It's like personally, like almost my whole, not my whole life, but most prevalent in college, like I always felt like the black sheep in my friend group. Like I always felt like I didn't like fit in really. I was just there because it was convenient. Like maybe a person or two liked me, but I never felt like I vibed with everyone. Like the last time I felt like I truly fit in with a friend group was like high school. I was like one of the planners. So like you become the glue of that friend group when you're the one that plans everything truly.
Yeah.
So like felt like a black sheep for a while. And I think that's why it was easy for me to sort of like fall out of those friendships. And it really wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie to you about it. Like it's fucking hard all the time when you realize that like you feel like you're not good enough for people. But it's not that I wasn't good enough. It's just that like we're doing different things. Like truly, we were talking about like you're at a different vibration. Like truly, I'm just only here for friendships that are very, very reciprocal. And because I don't feel like I spend that much time with people ever. Like if I'm with friends, it's like a couple times a year. So like when that's the case, they have to be strong friendships. I'm not here for convenience friendships anymore. And I that may sound rude, but like, I'm not just going to hang out with people just cause I want to hang out with people. I'm in my hermit phase of life.
I know. I was like, because I don't want to hang out with people. Like,
no, it's like, if I'm going to hang out with people, it's because I truly want to hang out with them. It's not because I'm lonely.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit on my couch, eat a bunch of popcorn and watch Are You the One? That's a binge right now for me.
I just binge
Like,
Love is Blind.
ooh, so good. So you've seen all the seasons, all three?
I just watched I haven't watched season 1 and 2, but I watched season 3 because everybody was talking about it.
You got to watch season 1 and 2. They're good too.
Are they? Yeah, I don't know. I
They're
got Reed
good.
into it and he made me stay up like really late one night and just finish watching it because he's like, I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens to Cole and Zenub. It's like, what is going on?
We don't even need to
It
get into
gets
Cole
in.
and Senna because that's very polarizing.
I know. It was, yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'm gonna just tell you all, I don't think either of them is in the right or the wrong. I think it's a very mixed bag.
I think they both have a lot of
Yeah, they're just not two
they
people
need
that are
to
meant
do
to
some
be together.
MBSR with Courtney.
They're not two people that are meant to be together, right? Like
No.
she came into it with a bunch of insecurities and he didn't exactly treat her the way one would hope that your future husband would treat you at
Yeah,
all.
to be fair, he is like I know people say age doesn't matter, but sometimes
He's
it does.
26.
Yeah, he's barely 26 and so yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think he
His
was
brain is not even fully matured yet.
no, I
And
don't
so
think
when
he
you
was
put that with
ready.
a 31-year-old woman, that it's just not.
And I need to be honest, she came in there with a bunch of insecurities and people will say that
Yeah.
he definitely I don't know if he meant to or not played on them, but like their first night together, she had crazy insecurities. That's what I'm going off of. Like the
Mm-hmm.
beginning interaction, she was like, he doesn't find me pretty. Wasn't satisfied. He didn't talk to me after. Like their love languages clearly don't match up.
Yeah.
And she went into it with insecurities, and he was not someone that was consoling with them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not two people that are meant to be together. That's just the reality. Both got some growing to do. That's okay.
Yeah, it was wild. It made for good reality TV, but I honestly
Every,
feel bad for both of them.
oh my God, I feel so bad for both of them because the heat of the internet, I don't want any of that ever,
I
truly.
know.
That's just too much. Like people are just ruthless and mean.
Yeah.
Regardless of you could be saying you like peaches and people are going to tell you why do you hate oranges? Like the internet's a wild freaking place. I was telling everyone they need to poop more. I'm apparently not a doctor. Did you know that I'm not a doctor?
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. What?
I'm not a doctor and I have no right to tell people they need to poop every day. Whoa. And then M actually backed me up and literally got in a fight and got blocked by someone. It was really fun.
Yeah, what did well, you
It
told me
was
what she said because I couldn't see it. She was like,
she
you're
responded to you and then blocked you. She called it and you were like, cool, cool. We love that. Thanks. Oh, she said something
that
like,
was
you clearly don't know how to read. And you were like, you blocked me. So you're right. I don't know how to read.
yeah. That was the highlight of my internet life so far.
Okay. So tell me a little about your relationship with your friends at this point in your life.
Honestly, literally everything you just said
Yeah.
is exactly how I feel about it. Um, Let me see if there's more I can elaborate on that. But yeah, I've kind of always felt like that. Never really felt like I had a really strong friend group, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you. And I'm sure part of that comes from being homeschooled
Yeah. I was
too.
going to
Like
say
I just
homeschooling.
wasn't
Yeah.
around as many kids as you are in a
Mm-hmm.
public school system. So you just don't have the opportunity to make as many friends. And I know that's always people's biggest thing with homeschooling is they're like, oh, you're going to be antisocial. It's not that you're antisocial, you just maybe don't have the exposure.
Yeah. It's less opportunities.
Yeah, but also these days homeschooling is much different. So
It's very,
they have the big co-ops and
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's very similar. But the cool thing I do see about homeschool kids is they can talk with an entire range of generations. Like I see a lot of public school kids where they only know how to talk to their peers
Yeah.
and people coming from homeschool kids, like they don't have an issue playing with people that are younger than them or older than them. They can
That makes
converse
sense.
with the older generation and then also, spend time with little kids. But yeah, I was really close to my cousins growing up, so like they were my best friends
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Are they
much.
still? Are you still close?
Yeah, we're pretty
I love
close.
that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they were pretty much my friend group growing up. And then in high school, I did have a couple friends that I felt like I was pretty close with for
Mm-hmm.
a little while. But then I think that was my first experience with like a friend breakup
Mm.
because
Oh. My heart.
I was not, according to them, they just basically just kind of quit talking to me one day. And
Hmm.
then they're like, we can't be friends with you because you don't believe the exact same thing that we believe.
Mm.
And so basically, they kind of told me that God told them that they couldn't be friends or talk to people that didn't
Oh,
believe the exact same thing that they believed.
I wonder if God told them or if their parents did.
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, because their parents were pretty strict.
That's what I'm
So
saying. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
but they were like this was I was 17 at the time, I think, and they were just a little bit older than me. One was
mhm.
about the same age, I think. So they were already like adults, but
And
yeah, it was
acting like
wild. And then
children.
so like I was like, fine, you don't want to talk to me. I'm just not going to talk to you. And
Yeah.
then it kind of like changed like a year later and they're like, "Oh, we can be friends now again." And I'm like, "No, you said you didn't want to
Yeah.
talk to me, so I'm no."
I
And then they got mad and like kind of blew up about it and they're like, she's so rude, she won't talk to us." And I'm
I've had the
like,
same
I
experience.
don't have time for this. It's entirely too much drama. And at that point, I was glad we weren't friends anymore.
Those aren't the type of people you want in your life. If someone's going to
Yeah.
cut you off like that over something like that, that's not someone you want. And that's hard to tell a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to hurt, but like, we're going to tell you.
Yeah.
I've had people do the same thing to me, right? They told me they didn't want to be my friend, whatever. When I was younger, when I was in high school, it's happened to me quite a few times in my life. Happened to me in college once, and it always hurts. And then I'm like you, I'm like, okay, you don't want me. There are plenty of other people that will. And then they would come back later and be like, well, why don't you want to talk to me? And I'm like, well, you literally pushed me out of your life. So like, what are you talking about? And then they'll be like, well, you're just so close-minded. And I'm like, close-minded? You're literally the one who told me you didn't want to be my friend. Like, why would I give you another opportunity? That's like a breakup. Like, I'm not getting back. Well, I have gone back together with exes, so we're not even going to get into that. But like, it's a similar, like, it's like a breakup. So
Mm-hmm.
you have the decision whether you want to be with someone or not. Truly,
Yeah.
it's all a relationship. It's all a close interpersonal relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have different perspectives, which I love about that because you were homeschooled and I wasn't. But I yeah, I've just always felt like a black sheep. Like I've always felt like a weird one. Like my siblings were both, and it's funny because no one would think this while knowing me as an adult. My siblings are both way more outgoing than me. Like I was like quieter, and this is why I am the way I am because I had to freaking talk, otherwise I never got heard.
Mm-hmm.
I was quieter, more to myself, more of a nerd, and I had like a couple close friends. And then like we got in high school, I had like a not a small friend group, but like I've just always had my people, and like I really never needed lots and lots of people around me. Like I will
Mm-hmm.
have like one friend from each friend group or whatever, like one person I played this sport, that two that I played that sport with or whatever. But for me, it was just like you got some close people and you don't need 500 friends. Like it's cool if we got like 20 good friends, or I mean, that was way back when 20 good friends didn't seem like a lot. Now that seems overwhelming. But so that's why it was interesting. Like, cause I always had friend groups and I wouldn't always be close with everyone, or maybe I was. And then, like, things ebb and flow. But it's just so interesting how we can fall in and out of friendships. And like, this is not me saying it doesn't hurt because, right, my significant other would tell you otherwise. Like, I've cried over all of these things. I'm not going to tell you guys that right now, but I'm a softie on the inside because when you give a lot to people and they don't give a lot back to you, I just want everyone to know that, like, those people don't deserve your friendship. And, like, maybe you need to have a conversation with them about that because maybe they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if they don't realize it, do you want to be friends with them? Right. Like, there's all of that stuff.
Yeah. That's kind of how have always felt too. Like I always feel like I'm that person that is
Yep.
like reciprocating or like giving everything to the friendship and like
Yep.
always reaching out and always doing this and like I'm the one going here to do the thing or here to do the thing, and it just kind of feels like it's never really reciprocated. So
Yeah.
I just like reached a point a couple years ago where I just like I give up. Like I
Yep. Me too.
cannot keep giving this energy
Yeah.
to people because it like you said it does hurt when they don't reciprocate it and like you
Yeah.
want so badly to build a relationship with this person but it comes to a point where it's too much work.
And this is a hot take, but some of it I think is I'm one of these people too. So like when we set the precedence of the relationship earlier on, I think it is because we fell into that pattern, right? Because we fell into being the giver and not a receiver. And because then when it starts that way, everyone expects it to always be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're like, holy shit, it's been years and I've not received anything in return, we get fed up and we either cut things off, slow things down, whatever, or
Mm-hmm.
just stop trying. And I think that's why I'm saying sometimes it takes like a conversation, because sometimes people don't even realize, because that was the way it's always been, and why would it be different now?
Yeah.
And the reason it's different now is because we're adults and we're tired.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. And I'm not blaming us, you know what I mean? It's just a very interesting point of view, because you get to that point where you're like, I'm tired of giving everything and receiving nothing, right? Like I had a bunch of friends lived near me. We lived together in college. Then a couple of them moved out near where I was. It was totally fine. And then they all moved not that far away. It was like 40 minutes away. And then they would invite me all the time. And obviously I went a bunch all the time. And then I got tired of it, because I was like, I go 40 minutes all the time. No one's ever come once to me, or they came
Yep.
once or twice in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stopped.
I
Yeah.
so
And so
much
I
relate
stopped
to that.
going.
Yeah.
And then everyone stopped inviting me instead of just meeting me halfway.
Yeah. I can
And then it
totally
becomes where
relate.
it's me,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm hi, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. It's not, but like that's where it like took a turn, right? Because people were like, "Oh, well, you never come." And I'm like, "Gotta meet me halfway, buddy." Like that's for
Yeah,
me to
like
always
I could
go.
say the same thing to you, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I stopped getting invited, and then I would get offended, and they'd be like, "Well, you never come." And I'm like, okay, so now you expect me to come the once a year you invite me. And I have a little bit of an ego. So for me, it's like, if you're gonna only invite me once a year, fuck that. I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going once a year when you want to hang out with me. If you've never once texted me on my birthday, if you don't respond to my text messages, or if the only time we talk is my birthday, like that's not a thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit hard on the exterior. But that's like, you can resonate, because it's so hard to determine when to cut that off, or when to like really stop giving any effort, right? For a while I would still go once a year, or I would still go twice a year. And then for me, I think when I realized it was my breaking point was when I would go and hang out with those people once a year, twice a year, and I would leave and I would literally drive home crying, because I felt like no one actually gave a shit about me there, right? Like I'm going out of
Mm-hmm.
my way. I'm driving 30 minutes out of my way to your things. That's okay. It's not like saying that like I'm putting myself on a pedestal, but it hurt when I would go there. And it's not like, it never felt like anyone even cared whether I was there or not. The questions I got asked were, how's work? Or like that. Like that's,
Yeah.
we haven't kept up. We haven't talked. And it doesn't seem like anyone wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they didn't intend that. And I'm sure they didn't, because none of them are bad people. But it gets tiring. It gets exhausting to leave and feel like I would have rather been alone, because I felt like I was alone in a room full of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I 100%
Yeah.
relate to that.
That's like the hardest feeling, in my opinion, is being like, I feel alone in a room full of people. So I would have rather been alone, just alone,
Mm-hmm.
alone, and then not leave and feel like something's wrong with me.
Yep.
And that's one of those things I'm constantly reframing, right? It's not something's wrong with me. It's that these are not my people.
Yeah. You have to definitely find your people. And I feel like it, I know everybody says this, but it's like it gets harder the older you get
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
sometimes, but I don't know. It's a very weird space to be in, like trying to find friends in your late 20s,
Yeah.
at least from what I found, because most of the people that I meet, they either they have kids or like they're thinking about having kids, or they're just not in the same like space or season that
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. And so it just always feels awkward trying to build a friendship because um especially I feel like with people that are moms, because
Yeah.
like being a mom is like its own club in
Oh, yeah.
itself. And as it should be, like being a mom is an amazing thing. Like
Yeah. And it's
you're
hard. It's
doing
just
you're doing an awesome thing.
hard
But
to
it's
break that barrier if you
yeah,
don't
as a
already have
person
that
who's
relationship.
not a mom, like I sometimes feel like an outsider when I'm spending time with people who are just not just moms, but that's what they are is
Yeah.
a
And
mom
that's
first.
because it becomes part of your identity, truly. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not anything bad about it. I mean, another person relies on you for like every facet of their life. So that's totally okay that it becomes part of your identity. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have those pre existing relationships before, it's harder to break that wall.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah. I think it's hard to find relationships in your late 20s. Like I think it's hard unless you have someone who unless Reed has a friend who starts dating someone new or like those types of things, right? Like it's a weird space.
Mm-hmm.
I have also so for me even in my early 20s, my mid 20s because I was weird in my early 20s because I was someone who didn't drink, right? And I stopped drinking at 22, which I feel like is so freaking bizarre. Um but or maybe it was right before my 23rd birthday. I stopped drinking. So like yeah, that's bizarre. It's hard to make friends when you're 22 and you don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's been like over the past couple of years, it's been harder to find people that want to do what I want to do or like want to hang out the way I want to hang out. And that's not to say like I need friends that are sober. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. But
You need friends that want to do more than just drink.
exactly. Yeah, cuz my friends that I was friends with for a while, right? Like because we didn't live in the same city or the same town, like the only time they would invite me was when they were going out and stuff like that. So like I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun for me.
Yeah.
So it's more like, oh, do I have friends that want to go to a workout class and like then get coffee, go to yoga, on a walk, like those sorts of things? Again, I'm not saying like you have to not drink. I don't care about that, but just like be willing to do things that aren't centered around drinking. And that's what I find super interesting too, because a lot of people that I feel like everyone's going to hate me after this podcast, but that's totally okay because I don't think they're going to listen because they're true. Most of these people aren't my friends anymore. But I'm not anti-alcohol. It's that I don't want every single activity we do to include alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think the difference is between me and a lot of people our age, because I find it's like game night, we're bringing drinks. We're going to the drive-in movie, there's drinks. We're like everything has to be drinking all the time. Like it is sent, we go on vacations and everyone wants to drink all like I don't want everything to be centered around drinking all the time. That's so boring for me. Can't we have a sober conversation?
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's not that you need to not drink. It's that I don't want the activity to be centered around it,
Yeah. No, I get
which
that.
most of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, everything that you listed. Yeah,
And
I,
like I'll
I
do
mean,
game
yeah.
nights, I'll do like plenty of things and invite people to, but like it's just that I don't want it all to be centered around drinking. Like heck, even the we play in an intramural league and it has a bar in the basement. Bar. I almost said beer like 7 times. It has a bar in the basement. So like that sort of stuff. I'm like, we can't even play an intramural league for volleyball without drinking.
Mm-hmm. I feel like anything as an adult though that kind of turns into that. Like you like even if it's a sports league or something like
That's
that, they
boring.
call it like
Yeah, they're
like
beer leagues.
Reed's
They're beer
hockey,
leagues.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Reed's hockey league, they call it a beer league. And I'm like, it shows.
It's boring for me. I'm sorry. And that's what I know isolates me maybe, but it also means that my friends are my I'm close with people. I'm like the ones I got in my corner, like I would do anything for you. Like I'm a very loyal ride or die person. Gang gang, what's up? But like that's just the way it's gonna be. If I'm gonna have less friends, it's because it's gonna be a lot closer.
Yeah, me too. That's whenever people ask, they ask those questions like, what's your most redeeming quality? I'm like, that I am a loyal freaking person. Like,
Yeah.
if you give me reason to be loyal, I will stick by your side like
Yeah.
forever. But if you don't, I'm gone. Like, I'm not. I'm just at that point in my life where I'm just not anymore. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be
I'm not
there
here
if you're
for
not
it.
going to reciprocate it.
I agree. Like I've
So,
I've hit my bullshit meter and my threshold for everything is low. I said that because um we can get into this eventually in a podcast, but me and my current boyfriend, because we rave about him, we did not work the first couple of times we tried dating. Right person, wrong time. But the reason we worked out now, I told him my bullshit meter was at my threshold for bullshit is 0. I'm like, one thing goes wrong, we're done. Like that's okay. Like I just have no tolerance for anything anymore. I know what I want. And like, if it's not meeting those standards, like it doesn't need to be in my life
mm-hmm.
with all my relationships, right? With him, he was decided to shape up or ship out. Like that was, sorry, Dan. It's the truth. Everyone knows. Well, maybe not everyone knows. A lot of people don't actually know our whole relationship story, which is a whole big thing in and of itself. But yeah, he was not ready to meet the quality of person that I wanted in a relationship more than
Mm-hmm.
once. And so we didn't work because I wasn't willing to bend.
But see, that's good though, because now you are where you are
Exactly.
because of
Yeah.
that. Like you
No, it
didn't
was good because I didn't
compromise.
compromise.
Yeah.
I didn't compromise. And I was like, if you don't want to be this type of person in my life, and that's totally okay, but like, we're not going to play this in between game. Like, that's just not what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we didn't work until we did one day when he decided that he was going to be that type of person. It was, I'm
Now
not,
we love him.
I know. Oh no, we love him. We think the whole world of him. And I think that part of it is because he did all of that personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
It's
that's
funny because
what some people need,
my
honestly.
best friend, we laugh about it because the first time I talked about him, he had a girlfriend at the time. And I was like, oh, I feel like this guy likes me, but he has a girlfriend. And she's like, honey, he has a girlfriend. Like, he doesn't like you. Sorry. If he did, he wouldn't be with her. And I was like, oh, just you like justify things because we were in college. And she was straight up with me because we're that way with each other. And she literally hated him for a while. She's like, I think he's leading you on. I think this guy's a scumbag. Like, he stinks all the time. And now she like loves him, but she's like, it's funny because remember when I hated Dan? And I'm like, yeah, because you were a good best friend. Like, that's why you were being my homie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's like, remember when I hated him? And I'm like, yeah, I remember because it was funny and it was what I needed to hear. Well, other people told me, but we're both very like, I love you, but I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. Like, you're going to love me at the end of it because that's our relationship.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah. It's funny. It's hilarious. That's why one guy she was dating, I was like, I don't feel like you like him. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm just telling you from what you're telling me, like, I don't know that you like him. And then, you know, things play out. So who knows? But yeah, I'm just gonna like her, right? My best friend. She would do anything for me and vice versa. Me and my most recent ex broke up and she got in a car with my mom and they drove here like that night because they didn't
Oh,
want me to be alone. Like that sort of stuff, right? Like those are the
mm-hmm.
people that I want in my life. The ones that are my ride or dies, my true like best friends. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's like in between, I'm just not here for it. Like, and I think also part of it, right? Like we said, you get what you give out. So we have to keep giving that out, which gets hard. I will openly say I'm very jaded at this point. Like I'm struggling to give people all of me
Mm-hmm.
at this point
Yep.
because I have had enough people tell me they don't want to be my friend anymore and stuff like that. Like, yeah, why would I? Hmm. I'm a little bit closed off, honestly, which is funny because I'm like, I'm looking for friendships, right? Like I'm looking for like my people, but like, girl, you're a little bit
But
closed off.
but like not too many people.
No, no,
Yeah.
honestly, too many gets overwhelming.
I don't need very many friends. I just need,
High quality.
yeah, high quality friends. I think like we talked about in probably after one of our other podcasts, like I need those people that I don't feel like I just have to do small talk every single time I hang out with them.
I can't take
You
that.
know, I want to either just sit in silence and just like enjoy being around in each other's company or actually talk about things that
Yeah.
matter. And it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be all seriousness all the time either. That's not
No.
what I'm saying, but just not trivial
And that's not
things
to say you never ask
constantly.
me about my job, but if that's literally the first sentence that comes out of your mouth every single time we talk, I don't think we're that close.
Mm-hmm.
How's work? And I'm like, I
Yeah.
like to talk about my job when it's unprompted. No, it's how's work. Cause then I'm just gonna say, same old. Cause I'm like one of those weird people that worked in finance and that's all I know how to do is like give you the colloquialisms. Same shit, different day, just another day in paradise. All those good ones, right? Yeah, we've been there. We're over it. We're
Yeah.
not here for those types of relationships.
No. Or when you um also the first thing somebody asks you every time is like, how you doing? Like, what have you been up to?
I
Like,
can't take what have you been up to?
I
What have you been
know
up to? You might
because
as well.
I pretty much give the same answer every time. I'm like, oh, work, busy.
If I have to say, oh, before I say something, it's a bad question.
Yeah. And yeah, I
So maybe
just,
we should go into like, how do we meet people? How do you meet friends at this age, right? I don't know. Ask me in a couple
that's
days.
what
Like
I was,
maybe we'll
it's like,
figure it
don't
out.
ask me that. I don't know.
But I feel like we should not say like, hey, you're hopeless, right? Because you're not. You're
Yeah.
not. We're gonna
Mhm.
figure it out. If you live in a big city, you could always try Bumble BFF. I don't know how well it works, but I know it's a thing. My sister's used it when she's moved. It's the dating app for friends. I don't know. I don't live in a big city, so don't ask me. I do play intramural sports for these things, and I make my friends hang out with me with their girlfriends in hopes that like we'll be friends. I also
Yeah.
go
I
up
was,
to people in cute matching fits in the gym. I'm not saying it's worked for me yet, but I'm like, I like your outfit.
she chases people down at conferences.
Hey,
And now we're here.
yeah, where are we now, Em? We
Yep.
text
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I
I,
tell Reed all the time, I'm like, she's my long distance bestie.
oh
Because
yeah,
I
100%. And
literally text you more than I text anybody else I consider a friend. So
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely talk to you more than I talk to most of my friends. I didn't mean one, we have to for this stuff, but also like we just talk about other stuff. Like you were texting me about, I don't even remember what it was the other day. Whatever. We text all the time. It's just like random, like, oh, did you see this stuff? Did you see that? Whatever, whatever. I'm like, yep.
Hmm. Yeah. I was looking at my phone the other day because, like, of course, now that it's the holidays, I get more, but like all
Yeah.
these company texts that are sending me promotions and everything. And I'm like, I get more texts from companies in a week than I do from actual people I know. Like,
I
I'll
don't give
get,
any of the companies my phone number, so not the same.
I sign up for, because they do like the discounts and
Yeah.
stuff. If you sign up for text, and then once I get the discount, I'll usually stop. But
Unsubscribe.
sometimes I forget.
Unsubscribe.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's hard to meet people when you're older, truly. And like I think that so maybe like you like think about where you would want to meet someone, right? Maybe you're just more open-minded. Sorry, there's a literal hair in my eyeball. Maybe you're just more open-minded to going out to those places, going to coffee shops, going to the gym, and try and be more receptive to talking to people. Not saying everything's going to pan out in a friendship, but just like the more you're in that open and receiving mode, the more people you're going to meet.
Hmm.
Like, where would I want to meet people? At a workout class. So, do I tell people I like their cute matching outfit at workout classes? You bet your bottom dollar I do. And if nothing else, I'm just making them happy because it made their day or something like that. Like it doesn't have to be anything, but like, where would you want to meet someone? Go
Yeah.
there.
I will say that I have a very hard time just like going up to someone and talking to them when I've never met them before. But the few times that I have put myself out there in those situations, like doing things that are very uncomfortable for me, but like putting myself into a position or like a place that I know
Mm-hmm.
people that I would probably want to meet would also be, I have met people that I do consider friends now. Like I
There you go.
haven't, definitely don't know that I have like that ride or die friendship yet, but I have, like, I've met people at like women in business
I
things
love
that
that.
I've gone to. And I've met people like in the wellness space, like the local wellness space of just
Mm-hmm.
things that I've done. And
Oh,
that's
that's so
kind of turned into
fun.
friendships. But yeah, I know people are always like, go to a yoga class if you like to do yoga, or just like go to farmers
It's hard to
markets.
talk to
And
people at those things.
yeah, it's hard. And I don't know. I just never feel like, I feel like everybody's kind of in their zone at like a
Yeah.
workout class and something like that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Right. And so I'm also, you wouldn't know it, but very uncomfortable going up to people and saying things, but I'm just going to go for it because it's like the answer is always no unless you ask, right? So
Hmm.
you're just going to try. I
Yeah.
am very uncomfortable and very awkward. And some of my questions may be weird. And I almost scared Emily away the first time I met her. So, you know, you just got to try it. And I think don't get me wrong, I don't think yoga is where anyone wants to talk. Like I know like if you like yoga class, go and try and meet someone. I don't think
Hmm.
anyone wants to talk at a yoga class. I think maybe at like a more high intensity sort of thing. Farmers market, I don't know how to talk to someone. Maybe if we grab the same pair or something, I'd be like, how about them pair?
Right.
Nope, nope. But
Yeah. Honestly, I've actually connected with more people via Instagram,
oh,
just
me
like
too.
local people on Instagram. And then you just kind of build
How,
that
how
friendship.
do you find local people on Instagram? Do I look up the geotags and start stalking people? I'll do it.
Um, I
I'll
mean,
do
I
it.
guess I find people like through like local businesses that I follow, um,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
other friend people that like the friends or people that I do know locally that I follow. Like if they take Jesus, what is going on with my throat? Like if they take people or if like like businesses will reshare accounts if
Mm-hmm.
they tag them or whatever. I
Oh,
find
I
people
love
through
that.
that. So,
There's like low key not very many wellness C places around here at all. So that's where I struggle, right? Because I get it. I live in somewhere that's not very progressive. I
I
don't
mean, I
really,
feel like it's not here, but I don't know. That just could be me comparing it to a place like Austin or
I was gonna
something like
say you're
that.
comparing to somewhere like Austin because I can't even get gluten-free food anywhere around here.
Okay, you're maybe more on the struggle bus than we
Yeah.
are then.
Um, I don't disagree. I just like I said, go up with someone and at least compliment them and like maybe it doesn't turn into a conversation, but at least like you tried and like what's the worst case scenario? Someone's like, "Oh my god, that girl was so nice." That's it.
Hmm.
No one's going to be like, "Fuck you" when you say, "Oh my god, I love your shoes." Like sorry, that's not a normal reaction. I've done it many a time. So like I promise you no one's going to say it. Well, one girl kind of snubbed me once, but that was it. It's fine.
She was just having a bad day.
I think so. I really think so. And it was like that's so out of like I've done that to many, many people. Yeah, it's definitely hard to approach people, but like just go for the gold. I don't know. I
Yeah.
You just gotta try. Like you said, I like that idea of people on social media. That's good. We're gonna find places around here and I'm gonna just stalk everyone. And they're gonna think I'm creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's where I've built kind of the majority of the relationships that I have
Yeah.
is via that, or else I've made some pretty good friendships just with like wives of guys on Reed's Hockey League and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
That's like the easiest way to do it.
and
The
then, again,
wives
a
of
lot
your
of people
friends.
are so big, like late 20s is just busy. I feel like everybody's just busy, 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 busy. And so it is hard to and like nail down that time to hang out because you're always like, let's hang out, let's hang out, let's hang out. When are you free? When are you free? And it's like it
So
never works.
2023.
Right. And yeah, because I've been trying to hang out with someone for what feels like 3 months now. And it's like, I'm gone or they're gone or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
just complicated.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I also would say to join sport leagues yourself as like a free agent or whatever. Like, that's not to say it's easy. I actually have done it multiple times and I've made no friends from it. So that's not to say that it worked for me, but I know it
Hmm.
works for a lot of people.
Yeah. Or maybe, like you were saying, like a more interactive workout class. Like lately, I've been eyeing one of our Pilates studios
Go,
where
go,
it's
go,
like just a
go.
very intimate, like Pilates space. And they share like videos of the classes a lot. And I'm like, oh, like they look like they might be fun. So I'm thinking about maybe I'll try that.
I used to, so if you're anyone out there is interested in coaching fitness classes, I used to coach at like a Pilates studio, and that was the not like closest group knit of people in the entire world, but a lot of people make friends from there. And I did like two of my friends, we were coaching together, and like
Hmm.
some of the members have become friends with coaches and stuff like that. So, like, it, and I mean, going once will be helpful, but when you become a member, it really helps so to become a part of that community, to go to the same classes, to talk to the same people,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I'm not saying you have to become a coach, but like if you just are to go there a couple times a week, right?
Hmm.
Like everyone feels like they can approach me now because I coached there for over a year.
Yeah. And what
But
I like about that Pilates studio too is it looks like they are like kind of that community
yeah,
because like I've been seeing like members if they have like their birthday they'll do like
oh,
a whole
cute. We
birthday
love
thing
that.
for them or like even like there's like a group of them that went out and did like this thing and they do like little retreats and stuff so I'm like that could be like a fun space.
Yeah. Like that, or if you were to become a community member of like a yoga studio, if you go to the same place all the time, like my yoga studio was pretty intertwined once people went all the time. You know, if you're just a
Mm-hmm.
drop in that goes once, that's a little bit harder to create relationships.
Yeah.
I find that the easiest within like studios. I also used to coach at gyms, and like I guess some people are chatty, but it's not as easy to make the friendships at like gyms as it is like a boutique fitness studio.
Yeah. Can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Because when I'm at the gym, I don't. I guarantee people look at me and they're like, I'm not talking to her because she looks mad.
Yeah. I have not made one friend at my gym.
Hmm. And
Nope.
honestly, I haven't seen anybody at my gym that looks like I would want to be friends
Oh,
with
mine's
them.
like a meathead gym. So there's lots of like people like that, but that I would want to be friends with. But I just usually want to get in and out, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard to create relationships when you're older, but like, or reach out to us. You want to be our friend? I'll be friends with you. We're
Same.
not, we're talking about this because we want more friendships. Be our friend. I actually am like getting pretty close with a couple of my clients too. Like, if you want to be my friend, become a client. Like, we will talk all the time and we will become friends. That's just the
I
truth.
know
Like,
I have a couple clients where we're like that now.
I'm like, we're friends. Like, I was posting about the belt bag thing, you know, with the you put a gift card in, you put a lip gloss, whatever. And my a couple of my clients were like, oh my God, I need this gift. And I'm like, we're the same. Like, we are in this together. It's
Yeah.
okay.
And I
We're friends
mean,
now.
that's probably why you attracted them as a client. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Or if you want to just like be in my life, like join my beauty counter team, we'll also be friends. Like all of us
Hmm.
friends.
Yeah. Can we
That's
talk
it.
about how like clients and just like people on social media are also much more supportive of you
Oh my
than
gosh. Okay.
like
This is this is a real one. So
I know.
I can use this example, right? Because I have a beauty counter business. And
Hmm.
like, I'm not saying that I want my friends to become my clients, right? But maybe you would think that someone in my life would like buy beauty counter from me. My first pop up, this was 3 years ago, had a couple friends there. No one bought anything. A couple of them I didn't expect to. They were really just there to support because they're not makeup people. They don't use skincare, nothing. A couple of other people, like, don't get me wrong, we all do different, like, I'm not holding this against them, but like they talked about buying a lip gloss or makeup wipes or something, which is like $20.
Hmm.
Never happened. Like, and that's okay. I don't hold that against them, but the amount of people on social media that support me when people in my real life won't, it's
I
very,
know.
very interesting. Like, it would have
Hmm.
been $20 for you to buy makeup wipes that are not just better for the environment, better for you, like better for your skin. Like, that's just the truth. And it didn't, it's fine. Like I said, I didn't hold it against them. I was like, whatever, maybe they didn't really like it, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
And a lot of people will go and support without a blink of an eye a celebrity that doesn't know they exist, right? They'll use
Yep.
Joe Rogan's code. They'll buy the Kylie Jenner lip kit, like all this stuff, but they hesitate to support their friends.
Hmm. Yeah. And I've seen people like support even just like bigger Instagram accounts that they're not even necessarily celebrities, but they're just much more mainstream than like if it's
Good point.
something that I share, like people that I know, I've seen them just like they'll ask me questions about it, but then they'll go and
Never.
use
Yeah.
somebody else's code. And I'm like it's kind of hard like not to feel a little bit hurt about that sometimes, but
The reason this upsets me is because if anyone in my life were to start a business venture or something like that, I would be their biggest hype woman, right? Like, I would
mhm,
be like, I'm so excited for you. This is going to be amazing. I would repost, I would share, like, my best friend, my sister, my mom do that for me.
yeah,
We love that for them. My sister reposted something I posted the other day, cutest ever, right?
yeah.
She bought Beauty Counter once and she's a cheap ass bitch. Love you, Kara, but you're a cheap bitch. So won't buy it again because she's like, oh, money. I like spending $2 on makeup. That's just who she is.
Hmm.
But we'll continue to repost. We'll continue to tell people about me, all that stuff, right? We love that. And I don't know about which of my friends aren't talking about me behind closed doors, right? We appreciate anyone that talks about it to their friends and family, but it's just so interesting to me that I know that some of these people literally don't bat an eye at supporting other bigger accounts, right?
Hmm.
Empowered autoimmune. I know a lot of people who use her codes. My best friend will text me first, be like, "Do you have a code or can I use hers?" Like 100%. And I appreciate that, right? Like if I don't, I'm
Yeah.
like, heck yeah, get the discount. I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
but like if you love someone in their life, you should be there for their highs and their lows, for all of it. Like you should, and even if it's not monetarily supporting their business,
Mm-hmm.
supporting via word of mouth, supporting via sharing, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And I feel
Like
like this
it costs you
podcast is,
$0.
yeah, I feel like this podcast is even a good example because like
Yes.
we get so many random strangers. I'm not calling you guys strangers because like you're your our friends, but like people we've never talked to
Yeah,
before
exactly.
sending us messages or being like,
Kindest people in
"Hey,
the
how
world.
can I review your podcast?" or "I love your podcast," or "I
Yep.
look forward to your
Resharing it.
podcast."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or resharing it. And I know like maybe two people in real life who have actually went and reviewed our podcast or like even texted me and told me that they like it or that they're listening to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody else other than like my family, like my super close family, like aunts and uncles and stuff. They've been like really supportive. They're all like,
Yay.
when we were at our family weekend a couple weekends ago, they're all like, "Oh, you have a podcast? Send me the link. Send me the link." And so they're like all listening now.
And
But
that's how it should be. See, so
mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess we'll take this as example too, right? This costs $0.
Yeah.
$0 to listen to you, $0 to repost, $0 to leave a rating and review, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the energy of supporting people's business is real. Like it will get you more just good karma, good energy because you're supporting someone that you care
Yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not even saying you have to spend $1, but just supporting in commenting, in liking, in resharing, in reposting, in talking about it via word of mouth
Yeah.
speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know why there's such a seems to be such a stigma around supporting your friends. Like for me, I don't bat an eye at if someone is really passionate about what they're sharing. I'm like, I'm gonna support you because you obviously like that. Like Beauty Counter, I never really even looked at it or thought about it until
yeah,
you started talking about it and you're like, I love this. And I'm like, well, I trust you, so obviously I'm gonna try it.
exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I trust my friends. I trust them. I trust what they're saying. I trust what they're doing. Like, I'm going to repost their stuff. I am what my job for a while was being a hype woman, right? Like, we're here to hype each other up. We're here to support each other. I don't know why, like you said, there's some sort of stigma around supporting your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be my friend's biggest support system.
Yeah. Or I
Their
feel like
biggest,
people are like, if they're my friend, I should get it for free.
yeah, that I'll never get, but like, I'll send you samples if you're my friend. You actually have one coming in the mail. I was going to let it be a surprise, but like, I'm telling you live. We're here live. Like, it doesn't, you should want to support your friends monetarily too. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just the truth, right? Why
Yeah.
are some of my biggest supporters some of my sister's best friends?
Yeah. Or like you said, clients or like
Clients,
people
people
that
I
have
meet on the
already
internet
paid you thousands of dollars, but then continue
because
to
they trust
support
me.
you. Yes, because they trust you.
Yeah. Because
Or
I'm like,
like a stranger that followed you on the internet and they're like, I believe in what you're saying. Like, I trust
yep.
what you're saying. And you would think that someone you know in person, like that, like physical and like personal connection would be that trustworthy connection. But
I'm here to change the stigma around this to only, not only have people in my life, but like mostly everyone who's willing to support each other.
mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, I want very supportive people in my life. I want very supportive people in your life. Again, it doesn't even have to cost you a dime. Like, that's what I really want to emphasize. If you are just leaving a rating and review on the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. You don't even have to freaking listen to that many episodes. We would love it if you did, but you could listen to one episode and be like, I'm so proud of them. Resharing it, being like, listen to my best friend's podcast, listen to this, listen to that. Like, it can cost you $0 to support your friends. Support your friends. The
Mm-hmm.
energy exchange is going to get you also just like good energy in your vibe, in your world, good karma. Like what you put out there comes back to you, right? If you put out that support to your friends, don't you want to receive support back when something happens in your life? I'm not saying you're going to start a business, but just like anything in your life, don't you want to be supported?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll
That's my soapbox and I'll stand on it.
stand with
Support your
you.
friends. We're only having loyal, really close people in this life. We love the people we meet on the internet, and I'll never understand why you are more supportive than some people I've really met in real life, but I love and appreciate you for it. That's
Same.
it. Yeah, like you said, there's like a lot of people who we have had some small conversations with, right? Like maybe a couple of DMs back and forth, but like I don't know that much about them yet, right? Like we're not that close yet. And they're like, love your podcast, listen to it all the time. Thank you so much for this.
Mm-hmm.
I had the sweetest person after I sent out I can't remember who it was, honestly. Oh, yes, Jennifer, if you're listening to this is for you. I sent her the King samples and I wrote a note because I write a personal note. Sweetest response back. Like, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I listened to your podcast about it. It's going to be changing the game for me. Like, that sort of support, cha- I'm just going to be honest, it makes our day. Like, you guys don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And we say this all the time, but like, that sort of stuff truly makes my day because being an entrepreneur is ups and downs, roller coaster. Sometimes it feels really fucking hard and really impossible. And
Mm-hmm.
those little moments of support means everything.
Yeah. When someone is like, when someone tells you that they love what you're putting out there, especially when it's just like us we
Yeah.
kind of started it as a fun
This
project and
this
it
was
still
just for
is a
fun.
fun
It still
project.
is just for fun.
Yeah, but the fact
We
that
make like $2 a
s-
year. Like this is
the
for
fact
fun.
that so many people are telling us that like it just makes their day or they look forward to it or whatever, like literally warms our hearts every single time.
Yeah. And like and this is just going to be a reminder, like it doesn't even have to be us. Your content creator, people out there, people that put out free information that you appreciate, tell them you like it, comment on their stuff, like it, share it, save it, anything, because
Mm-hmm.
that stuff means a lot, right? It speaks volumes in that just if it's someone you follow that you're like, I always love everything they're put out, right? You might not buy anything from them, you might not be a client of theirs, but if you love it, support them. Like it, comment, whatever, because putting out a lot of free content can be extremely draining because a lot of what we do is free, right? It may be like marketing for our services sometimes, but like a lot of what we do is free and it can be so draining and you cannot know if anyone resonates with it, if anyone even likes it, if anyone even reads it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you really just don't know what's going on through people's heads. So like this is just us telling you to support people in your life, people not in your life, support everyone.
Yep.
I think that's that.
Do we have anywhere else to go with this, or did we cover?
I don't. That was so much.
Yeah,
This was
I feel like that was a
cathartic.
lot.
Yeah, if you want to
Uh,
be our friends. DM us. We'll talk. We're friendly people.
should we just start a hot healed girl Facebook group?
I was gonna say that. I think we need to make this a community because the amount of people that are just like telling us they love it, don't they want to be friends with each other? I think they
Yeah.
do. I want
Mm-hmm.
them to be friends with each other. I want them to be friends with us. Can we all go
Mm-hmm.
on vacation together? Please.
Hot healed girl retreat coming soon.
I know. Texted me and I think it was August. You were like goals for 2023, hot heel girl retreat. And I'm like, I love it.
Yep.
Hot girl walks,
Courtney
king
goes to Florida
coffee
like every 2 months anyway. Why not just turn one of those into a retreat?
at my parents' house.
Oh, it doesn't have to be at your parents'
Yeah, we'll
house.
go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm
We'll
down.
we'll book it close to your parents' house so your mom can come hang out with us because she looks like a
Also,
lot of fun.
if we like get goodie bags or anything, we can like store them at my parents' house.
There we go.
That would be great. Denise is a good time. She's a great time. We love her.
Denise is a big supporter. We love you, Denise.
Oh, she listens to our podcasts probably like 3 times each week, and it's always on YouTube, which
We love
isn't just
that.
because we make money on YouTube. It's also because she likes watching our
She likes
faces.
to watch you get
She's
all
like, "You're
crazy.
photogenic." And I'm like, I don't know about that, but I have the same face as you. So maybe you just like watching yourself. Yeah. So yeah, just support your friends, support your family, support your loved ones, whatever. In any way, shape, or form. Support someone who you consume a lot of their content that's free. Like it can be
Mm-hmm.
comments, it can be likes, it can be sharing. That's it.
Yep.
Support them. We love it.
Yeah. I literally had someone message me today and they're like, hey, I want to get some King coffee. What's your link? Because I want to use your link and support you because I love all the information that you put out and you've helped
We
me
love
so
that.
much. And I'm just like,
We love that.
if only people in my actual life did that, you know?
Well, now we're setting the standard that we only want close people in our actual life to do that. That's it. We're setting the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry. We want Denise level support from everyone. Denise
I
level support is a
agree.
lot, but okay. Not everyone has to be a Denise, but
Send
high
us some
level support.
vegetable ornaments for Christmas.
Yeah, I love it.
If you haven't
You're
seen Courtney's vegetable tree, go look at her Instagram.
I will post the rest of it because I didn't even show my dumbbell. You're gonna love my dumbbell. I got that Target $5. Don't
She has
sleep on the
a butter ornament
the butter one's
and
good.
it's very cute.
I was at a place near me and they have a baked potato, like, but also it was like $35. I'm not getting a $35 ornament, but like it's a baked potato
That's like
with a
your love
slab of butter on
language.
top. Yeah, right. We have the pumpkin pie, we have the taco, we have 3 Brussels sprouts, 2 strawberries, 2 bowls of vegetables, butter, cauliflower, carrots. I'm
Do you
missing
have a
something.
steak on there? I
No,
think you need a
but we
steak.
should. Yeah, it's like a slow build. We get 1 or 2 every year.
Mm-hmm.
Avocado toast, 2 avocados. I don't know what else. I'm lost. It's a lot. That's enough.
Yeah.
The cauliflower is my favorite because I went through hell to find it. I found it at a place near me. I picked it up. I still laugh rewatching those stories. It was like 2 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, so excited. I found the cauliflower ornament. And then I get home, it's in a bag. I like reach down because I dropped my keys and it tips over the top of the bag and cracks on the concrete.
Oh
And
no.
I start like, I'm upset, but I also start laughing hysterically because my story is like going to get my cauliflower ornament. Got it. Oh no. So like the
Um,
sequence of emotions in that story was unmatched. You'd only know if you were here for 2 years and like it's okay. I'm not
uh,
offended if you weren't, but it was hilarious. I need to repost that at some point and like scroll all the way back through my archive.
I think that reminds me of a story I did one time. I was like really excited, like making like my opening my King coffee and like about to make it. And then the next one is like the packet on the floor. And
Yep,
I'm like,
literally the
really?
same. You're like, oh my God, we're so excited. Port, boom.
Yeah. I almost cried.
Well, don't cry over a spilled king.
It's hard not to.
I know it is. I have like a couple sips left. I'm like, it's 5:15. And on that note, hey M, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Emily Joy Wellness, Instagram, website, uh, Twitter, trying to hang out over there.
I love that.
Most active on Instagram though. So come be my Instagram friend. What about you?
At the THE Rooted in Health, Instagram, TikTok, which I haven't done for like over a month, and my website. My website I'm trying to revive because I like stopped posting website posts. And I actually got a lot of like positive feedback. People being like, you should post more. And I'm like, it's just a lot of time, but we're working on it. My gift guides are there, which you have linked in like the prior couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah, in
Linked.
our we have a gift podcast that was
So good.
2 podcasts ago. So go check that one out if you want to see her gift guide.
I have like 72 gift guides. So
They're pretty
yay.
great.
I'm a big fan, and there were quite a few things that I wanted to include in them that I didn't because I ran out of room.
The graphics are very cute. So if anything, just go look at the graphics that she did.
Just comment. It'll mean the world to me, even if you're like, I love Ned too. Let's be friends.
Yeah. So if you didn't gather from this podcast, please leave us a rating. Please leave us a review because we love all of it. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yes. And we will catch you in the next episode.